Okay, let's talk about target sum. So you are given an integer array nums and an integer target. Return a number of different expressions that you can build. So in this example, there are lists in array and a target is 3, so you have 5 different ways. So in this equation, in this question, you can actually use recursion, but you need to do it smartly because every single integer, it has two options. It's either plus or minus, right? And if you're just using recursion without memorizing, this will give you to the end. And if you memorize it, this will cost you, you will reduce to n times s. And n represent the length of the array, and s represent the sum of the nums, which is the array. So in this case, I'm going to use hash map. So map string integer. So I'm going to talk. I'm going to explain why I use string. So uh, just give me a moment. So I need a helper function. So a helper function will help you to memorize uh, every single step, and then you basically just return. So uh, like if I want to check if length the in array if length is equal to 0, I will just return 0. If not, I will just use the helper function. So helper function, what I do, I will have an index. So the base case is if the index is equal to a num length, and then if so, I need to actually check if the target is actually equal to 0, and then if not, I would turn nothing. Okay, if actually equal to 0, then I will return 1, else return 0. Alright, so for every single recursion, I will just probably minus nums at index and move my index plus 1 for every single time. But you have to know, like, sometimes you need to have a plus, because this could be what? This could be two-way, right? And then still index plus 1. For every single index, it could be plus or minus, right? And this, you just have to making sure you know what to do. So find the index. Find the target some way, right? You have the nums, you have the target, the index starts from 0, right? And if the index is actually equal to the num length, you have to return when target is actually equal to 0. This will return 1, else return 0. Now we need to have a key. So wait, my index is problem. Alright, so I need to have a key. So string key. So this key is actually represent the target. I'm going to use comma separator and also the index. So for every single for every single target and the index, I will memorize what is my actual value in this case. So if my map does contain this key, right, I will just return the value. Okay, so I haven't do this way, right? So I haven't do this. So let me start doing this. So this will be what? This will be your answer when you want to store into your value into the map, right? So for every single time, you have a plus or minus, right? So num and target minus num I, which is index, sorry, index plus 1, and I need to have a plus, and I will tell you why. So for every single way, this will give you one answer, and this will give you another answer, right? And both of answer will actually um, combine together to result, and I will add into the map, and this will give you the unique value for the current index. Be honest, current index will list remaining target, right? And I'll just put my key, put my result, and return result. and this will be the solution. And this will be a little bit hard to explain, but let me okay, tens key. Okay. And here we go. So for the time and space complexity, and let me just go over it. So you call this function, and in this function, you actually traverse every single index. So at least all of them, right? And then you need to have a sum, right? You need to keep adding. So in this helper function, you call in helper function. So it's actually the what? The summation of the nums, be honest, because you are just keep adding the um, negative and positive number. So I would say the time will be n times s, and s represent the sum of the nums. And also for the space, they're actually the same. So for every single uh, for every single key, right, you actually put into it, right, and then this is pretty much the same. So the time and space are the same, m times s. So I'm just quickly tell you, if you don't use a proper function, I mean, if you don't use a memorize uh, way, this is actually the solution. So call a helper function, and then for each helper function, you just recursion yourself, and this will pass the test for sure, right? So let me just run it. But this will give you 2 to the n, which is crazy. And for every single value I mean, for plus and minus, they actually add differently, and you have to subtract and then adding back, and then adding back and then subtract. So just giving the 2 different ways. But this will cost you more time and in complexity. And I finished the video, and if you want to subscribe, like, leave a comment if you want, and I'll see you next time. Bye.